You know, most of the time I'm not wrong when it comes to political predictions, but in this case, I will happily take this L, okay? My phone was blowing up this morning, buzzing about, because so many of us, and I thought this too based on a lot of the reporting I was reading, that she was going to pick Josh Shapiro, who volunteered for the IOF. Like, you didn't volunteer for your country's military, but you volunteered for the IOF, like, disqualifying. And who wrote psychotic things about Palestinians when he was in college, and who also compared student protesters that were protesting on behalf of Palestine, he compared them to the KKK. I am so relieved that she did not pick Shapiro, but I'm also pleasantly surprised that she picked Tim Walz. I honestly didn't think she was going to, because the Democrats suck. Like, they never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. They always spit in the face of their base. So I'm like kind of in shock. Now, the right wing is melting down. Of course they're melting down. They're saying that he's radical. And you know why they say that? Because he provided universal school lunches to children, poor kids in Minnesota. He's one of the most progressive governors in the country. But he's also going to be good for the Democratic ticket, I think. And I said this, a little while ago, that they would be wise to pick him. But, like I said, I didn't think they were going to pick him because oftentimes they're not wise. Because he seems normal. The Democrats, from a pure political standpoint, have a problem with elitism. They're perceived as elite because a lot of them are elitist. But even when they do good domestic policy for Americans who are working class, they still have a perception of an elitist problem. So Tim Walz is a great pick because he actually did really good things for working class people in Minnesota. Not just the school lunches, he's very pro-union. He's a former teacher. He was like a sports coach. And honestly, he just comes across as normal. The Democrats have stacked their cabinets for far too long with elitist Ivy League graduates, and he's like a normal Midwestern white guy dad situation. So from a strategic point of view, I think that it was a really smart pick. And it was a smart pick because it is what the progressives wanted. Josh Shapiro would have been disastrous. Mark Kelly would have been disastrous. And the people saying like, oh, well, this pick wasn't strategic because he's not from a swing state. He's the Minnesota governor. There is a massive Muslim population in Minnesota. They are also one of the main states that did the uncommitted vote. And back in March, when he was asked about the uncommitted vote that was being organized by many Muslims in Minnesota, he said he welcomed the civic engagement and said that it was important to listen to them. So yeah, Democrats had already lost a lot of Muslim voters. And so to pick a governor from a state like Minnesota that has a large Muslim population, that also was a huge part of the uncommitted movement, yeah, that is going to be a big strategic thing. The Democrats would be even dumber than anybody thought if they were to ignore the Muslim and Arab American population in this country. There's a lot more I could say about this pick, about this choice, and the strategic importance of it, and I probably will. But for now, this is excellent news. This is wonderful. This is actually really great. I'm kind of like surprised that they actually did something right. He is an excellent pick.